it's well time to get started with this. Um, Welcome everyone. I know a lot of you already, and for the people that are new here, that here's a short introduction on my end. I'm Lucas. I'm from the Netherlands here with Team Avisi Apps. A lot of us are present here as well, and we're a team of developers, designers. Um, we have a product owner managing our apps, and including me, and I do the consultancy part. So this is how we do the weekly group demos and so on. Our slogan is we build apps that fill gaps, and we're here to fill the gap for you when it comes to time tracking on Tracket. And now we're gonna take Tracket to the next level. So with Tracket 2.0. And this is really what this whole call is about. So questions, we're doing these throughout the call in the chat. So boss is answering these for you. And if there are any very good questions, we'll cover those live at the end. And if there's time, we can also do live Q&A. Some of you have already sent questions in from the beginning, and I will do my best to answer these on this call. If I miss one of your questions, I will personally get in touch with each and one of you that send in these questions to have them answered. So you're sure to have an answer on your question. Okay, let's see. We got the overview right here. So kept it really simple because most of this is gonna be live demo. And four key things I'd like to give you in this session is that you will get easier time tracking with this. You will have access to personalized views. There is clearer data available to you with the new version, and smarter reporting. And that's really where it all comes down to. So we did our best to improve in these areas. And without further ado, let's dive into a live demo. I'm going to walk you through the four pillars, and then each one we break it down into features and covering everything. So let's see. We got an instance right here. There you have it. A lot of you are familiar already with this overview. It does look slightly different than what you're used to because this is a first improvement. So we have updated the timesheet overview. I can make it larger, absolutely. So let's do that. Hopefully you're able to follow along a bit better now. Maybe just once. Okay, this just gives a complete overview. The new timesheet, it's improved the interface. So one thing we can do right here is that once we make a time entry from this place, we can do a plus button like so. And here we see the time entry template. Now, the thing here is you might notice that there are more fields available on the time entry template. And that is because we've introduced custom fields. So with that, you can select a board that you like to make a time entry on. And then you fill out the other fields. In fact, you don't have to fill in that much information if you've previously already logged time on this, as it does suggestions right there based on your past time entries. So that allows you to capture more information on your time entries as it relates to your business or the things you'd like to track your time on, and still make that as seamless as possible. So these fields are required, so they're already default filled in, and you could think of anything you want to add to your time entries. These are just some examples that we could track. Say we did 2 hours of work right there, and we log these hours. They'll show up right here as you're used to. And if you have a combination that you work on a lot, we've made that easier with a new pin feature right there. So this allows to pin a complete combination, like everything right from here, Oops, that's the timer. And then it will show up every week. So from here we can also see these time entry combinations and then make time entries right there, quickly and efficient. Also, there's bulk actions available now. So maybe you've made a lot of time entries on something and you want to dedicate that time to a different project or a different category. Now, previously you'd have to do that all one by one. That was a bit cumbersome. So we figured let's make bulk actions. So we can select everything and then edit everything at the same time. So we can select fields that we'd like to edit. Maybe we want to change the team, these hours to a different team. So we can push them to the development team, for example. Okay, we get confirmation. Did we do this? And now you can see all time entries right here that they went through to the development team. You can do the same with moving them. Then you might have noticed this timer already popping up right there. So if you're working with a manual timer, that's also accessible now from the timesheet overview. You can press that right there. So let's see. Wait a second. So the idea is that you can just start the timer from here and then it starts running automatically. You don't have to fill in any fields before you make the timer stop. But upon stopping it, that's really where you add the details. So you can just start and then after finishing, you can do your changing of the hours if that's needed, if it wasn't accurate. And again, change up fields if needed. So we can do that as well. Okay, let's see. Improved personalization. This was one of the topics I mentioned. And there's a couple ways to customize this overview right here. So we can change up the columns and the information on our time entries from this overview to really as much information we want personally. And that is possible because there's also more fields. Then there's a list view. So this is completely different timesheet overview that is available now. And it makes a lot of sense when you work on a day-to-day basis, which is most of us. And we can clearly see on a daily level how much time we've spent on which things. So it's a lot more detail. And we can also differentiate between billable and non-billable rather easy right here and get a breakdown of it. So again, right here you can also change up the hours and get this information for you. Let's see. One more personalization thing is the preferences in your settings. So currently this was user settings, now it's preferences. And this allows you to set the display options, not just in your timesheet, but throughout your whole Tracket experience. So also in the in the item view, you can see the display options you configure right here. Talking about that, there is new timesheet formats that you can put in right here. So maybe you worked, let's say 0030. It automatically changes the timesheet format, but you can use a lot of different formats. I believe there are like 15 different formats available. So really anything that you come up with, like commas, points, it should take it to allow a more user-friendly experience. Okay, awesome. This is the timesheet, new things here. Let's move on to clearer data. And after that, we'll do the reporting stuff. So I saved the best for last to ensure everyone is sticking around, obviously. But also it's just the best part. So I want to build that up. Let's talk about data first. So we got smart suggestions on item information. Okay, once we got a board right here, so project board, this is where we see we got a column business line. So you may have remembered the business line from the time entry template as well. What does this mean? So when we open up an item that we want to track time on, we can see a new suggestion. So this is a yellow one, if that's clear. The previous one was different. It says suggestion based on a match in the items column. This is really cool because this ensures that the information on your time entries is related to the information in your Monday.com board, and you track time specifically on that. And you can imagine that you don't have to fill out all these fields yourself because they're pre-filled. And also in your reporting, you can pull up this information and then do reporting on these status columns. So that's really added value right there. Moving forward, we got more data available on the item overview right here. And one of those things is including sub-items on your item overview. So you see the difference? Now Daniela is also here and she has log time on the sub-items, and that is being displayed right here. And Boss is just working on the main item. So this combines the total hours right there. We can also flip that off again. Okay, this is all customizable as well, because you can, this can become cluttered if you got a lot of these fields. And good thing here, we can export from this overview and select exactly what we'd like to see on the export. So specifically related to this item with a breakdown of sub items and everything we want to see. Maybe this represents a client, maybe this represents a project, and you want to share the information, you can do this with this. All right. One more note here is privacy. So previously, everyone could just see everyone's hours on the item level only. This is the only place really where people could see other people's hours. That's also limited now to the only person's permission level within Tracket. So only the team admins that have access to the other people's hours can also see their hours right here. And everyone else just see their own hours only. So privacy is also one of the improvements. All right. I'm just going to check in the chat because I've been talking a whole lot and I haven't even looked at what you are all saying. I see Buzz is doing answering a lot of questions, so that's great. Awesome. I see a lot of positive. Thank you, Helen, for the sub item. Time tracking is great comment. And Jaylin, hey, Jaylin, that's great. You're the best. Okay. Let's move on. We got some admin features I briefly want to touch upon, and then we go to reporting. Okay. Admin. Within admin, you can customize your template. One thing here you notice is the API reference. The good thing is, for any one of you that's using the API, is that with this you can pull specific information on the custom fields you've created to then put them into your other software that you're using the API for. So there's a lot more possible with this because you can really customize the API depending on your needs for the other software. So that's available. Also, there's an archive of the custom fields available. So maybe you want to archive something that's not relevant at this point, but still save it. Yeah, that's archive. That's what we do. So it's possible. Let's see. Access management. There's a super Monday.com admin level. Is the Monday.com admin. And they have also access to everyone's hours now. So maybe someone's on holiday. The approver is on holiday, but you still need to check the hours and still need to make some changes. The Monday.com admin is your go-to because they got access to your hours. So it just ensures that organizations can continue doing what they do even though someone's absent. Okay, we've arrived at smarter reporting. Very extensive reporting capabilities. Here we have reports. So it looks different. we can create a report from here and generate one. Let's see, we want to generate a report for the development team. This is one difference already, because now you can select multiple teams. The reason being is that team is now listed as an option to select from the time entry template. So you can combine teams easily, but also just limit it to one team. And maybe we want to do development and then on a one project. So here a project represents a board. So we do this project, okay. You can add more filters and up to as many as you want. And do that as well. And then easily change things up right from here. So if we generate this report, we see a lot better overview than what you're used to, because now we can see exactly which variable represents a person, an item, or a board. If there was a board here, you can clearly see what variable it is. And also, we can change up things from here, like you're used to, like do days, and then you can, without it updating automatically, you can just confirm it, load that in, and you see exactly this overview. Now this is not that new, it's similar to what we got. One thing is really cool is that, and this has been requested a lot, is saving filters to make this easy so you don't have to configure everything at once. So let's save this filter. Maybe we do this project overview and of our product launch development every 2 weeks. You can do a description. Then we filter that. We can view our filters right here. And you can see, okay, we also have a filter for reporting on the team online marketing for retail. So it's very specific. Now we click on that. We apply these changes to the report. And then we select the period that we want to report on. So maybe this month. Okay, not that many hours. Bad example. Didn't come well prepared. But at least you get the point. So you get 2 hours. I just did 2 hours right here. And then we can also change this up. So maybe we don't want to see online marketing, but maybe development in the team development, which makes sense. So we can also apply that from here. Okay, slightly more work there. Anyway, all your hours will show up related to the filter selected. And the good thing is, so let's just get a good example here again. Let's do, well, just leave it at this. We export this, we got another export option. So we can do an export, same principle as the item view, and then do exactly what we want to see there too. Actually, I already touched on this, but I just wanted to highlight it again. And there's the Excel file export, just copying this overview. One thing here is that descriptions is also included in your report, in the export, so you can also see descriptions. And descriptions is also available to display in the timesheet, so you can really show that information to anyone that needs to see it. Let's see, there was one more thing. Okay, yeah, so exports. Once we make an export, we do this. It has started. When it's finalized, you can download it, and also you can find it right here. So this is a place where you can see all exports. This means you can just get back to your previous exports, just do it again, or share it with other people because they have access to this place as well. So you can see all the exports available. All right, so widgets is similar because now custom fields are also available in widgets. You hear me talk a lot about the custom fields, and because that is really where you can now report more, do more stuff on reporting, because you can also pull the information from the item bar, like I showed you. So say we got a widget that's really useful, maybe this month, time spent per department. We want to roll that out every month to our management. You can also export from here now. So that is very well possible. If you click on here, same principle. And again, it's available in exports. Yeah, this is how it worked. Download. Okay, now let's see. We covered more time management on multiple teams. We covered new export ways, new reporting tools, and saving the views. Then I'm at the end of my list for now. I think these are most groundbreaking improvements that will be useful, and maybe it will use some time to, or take some time to get used to the working of the new template. We really did our best to make it as easy with the suggestions available, and yes, we'd love to hear your feedback. So if you have already experienced the app, I see a question when it is available, when the new features are available. This is all available already when you are monetized through Monday.com's payment system. So let's see if we can open up the PowerPoint again. And we just open it up then because we got time left, so we can do some live Q&A. Yes, so Q&A. This is available on the Monday.com payment. Bas has answered a whole lot of questions. And let me pull up the Slack. Bas, if you can just send me, if there are any questions I even have to answer, then you can send those over to me. Otherwise, I can pull them from the chat. Also, we can work with the raising of hands. So if you have a live question and you'd like to have a spot, you can use this icon. And then I will give you a spot and we can do a live Q&A. Maybe that's not needed. I respect your time as well. Okay, Florian, awesome. So I'm gonna unmute. Let's see if I can do that from here. Turn on microphone. Now, Florian, I think you can unmute now. Let's try that.
Yep, works. Thank you.
Awesome.
Hey, might be an easy to answer question, and I'm just too stupid to figure it out. But if I want to switch to payment over Monday.com to get access to the new features, the start of the renewal is for today, but I still have a yearly subscription active for Tracket until May.
Mm-hmm.
So how is that figured out?
That's a really good question. And that is subtracted to the amount of your renewal. So you don't have double costs. It's just going to be pulled even, or like, yeah.
So will there be a refund from Stripe, or will there just be a cost reduction on the new annual subscription?
Okay, so here comes the detail. Bas is on this call as well. He knows exactly how this works, so I'm gonna give him a shot at this.
Yeah.
Bas, take it away.
Hi all. I just put it in the chat as well because I saw a few questions regarding this as well. So great question, Florian. Thanks. Anybody that is paying through our current payment system, so which is Stripe, if you have any remaining days on that subscription and you choose to migrate to Monday monetization right now, you will be prorated the remaining days of your subscription. And we will refund you any remaining time on your current subscription.
Okay, thank you.
You got it.
Is that the only way we can get the new, the 2.0, Tracket 2.0, with updating our payment method?
Yes, that's right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see, Helen put a question in the chat. Are there any other options for charts? I believe currently there are bar and line charts available, are pie charts, etc. now available. Not at the moment. We are exploring ways to make that, to come up with more different visuals there. But that's not included in this release. So it's just the charts that are available now, as you're used to. And let's see. Yes, Blair, please take it away.
Can you go into detail about the reporting on deleted users? I think right now for deleted users, it just doesn't display the time. So what enhancements were made for reporting purposes on deleted users?
Yes, so with the new features, deactivated users are also included in the reports, so with the hours. So that should work better now with the new release.
So it will display their name and the hours?
I need to check this with Boss, so please, Boss.
Hi, back again. I think Monday introduced two things. You can, one, deactivate a user, which means that their name is actually saved. And they recently introduced also deleting users, and that's where you can input a name of how you want them to be presented in Monday. So you can just type like, hey, this was deleted user, or if you have an abbreviation for the user. I believe in both cases, we are able to get that information from Monday. So the deactivated users are 100% supported by Tracket now, which wasn't the case before. On the deleted users, I'm probably going to have to get back to you on what name we actually show, if it just shows by default deleted user, or if that is also the name that you gave to the deleted user, if that answers your question.
That does. Thank you.
Cool.
Okay, perfect. I see you got a question on what happens if you don't migrate to Monday monetization. Well, your subscription is, if you're a Stripe user at the moment, that just runs until that cancel. And monthly subscriptions are canceled, I believe, in April. If you don't migrate to the new system before then, yeah, you'll have a canceled subscription. So make sure that if you have monthly, to upgrade as soon as possible to also access these new features, but also continue using the app. And if you have a yearly one, depending on you, when it ends, you need to upgrade before that. But again, best thing, if you want to use this, then be quick with it. Let's see, I got one good question on the greenhouse project. Please go over any options, custom dates. So I got that ready right here. If you're in your reports, you want to see custom dates, you can just do that. Open up the period overview and then select custom date range. And this is where you can do any kind of date periods. Maybe you've got a project that's related to a specific date range, you only want to see within that scope. You can do it like this and then generate it from here. So this is a weird overview because I've got the display options on months, but we can do that on days too. Yes, so this will give you a breakdown. Does that answer the question, the greenhouse project? In the meantime, I will check with Jaylin. Did we get the ability to see time from archived boards and items? I'm not sure. Boss, are we?
I'm sorry, I was answering another question in the chat. What was the question?
So, are we able to see time from archived boards and items?
I don't believe we are, because if we query the Monday.com API, which is like the backbone for every third-party app, archived boards and archived items aren't returned, so we are unable to query them, and that's why we cannot show them.
Okay. Yes, Jaylin, you
Sorry,
can.
yeah. Can I follow up on that? So if we have a board and we archive it and there was time tracked on it and reopen it, will we be able to see it then? Like if we reopen on there?
Yeah, you will. So if you reopen it, then it will pop up in the results for the Monday API, and we are able to show you all the information.
Okay, awesome. So it's still kept there. It's just a matter of if it's archived or not. Thank you.
Right.
So I see another question on exports. Let's just have a look. We can do, yeah, user email, user ID. We can also do that, because the question is if we can see the username on the export. Currently, I believe only the user email and user ID are possible. The reason being, I guess, that's just a guess, is that user ID tells a bit more because the username may change. No,
I think the silly explanation is that we haven't thought of it. We decided to add the user email, which is the unique identifier also for a user. You might have people in the company that have the same name. At least that's what happens with us. So we added another unique identifier. If people are looking for the username, then that is probably something that we can add down the line.
Thanks, boss. Really good. Okay. Amazing to see so much interaction going on. This is really cool because you are really our most of you are like solid customer base. So very cool to do this with you. And we got more. So can we show somehow set the timesheet cannot be submitted until 4 hours is charged? At the moment, that's not possible because overworking happens or underworking happens. And Tracket is really built to track the actual time spent. So even if that means it's more than the 40 hours you usually work, we still track that. You can see that though with the capacity. So you can see if people are working more than the 40 hours and track it in your timesheet right there, and the approvals also have access to this. It just gives a very representative overview of what the actual hours are, and that allows you to then act on it, other than capping it at a 40-hour rate. Okay, so we have Jenna, and my company has paid for Tracket through Stripe for the upcoming year. Yes, that's exactly right. So your subscription runs until January 2025. Until then, you have access to the current model, and then you need to upgrade to the new pricing model. That's right.
Not entirely. You have until October 1st of this year.
Oh.
So October 1st for any yearly subscription that renews before October 1st, you will then have to make the decision. If your yearly subscription renews after October 1st of this year, we're going to cap it to October 1st.
Okay, thanks, Bas, for jumping in. My apologies for misinforming. So October 1st it is. Awesome. So, whoa, is that? Oh, I see someone with the name SLL345. I was like, what? 345 people have their hands up, but that's not possible. I got Zoltan. He was first, so please ask your question.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Can you hear me?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, so I had a question with this for 40 hours. So the question is it's really about if I said that the people have a 40 hours per week work schedule, so I would expect that at least 40 hours will be charged to different projects. So it's like, would be nice to have such feature that until he hasn't filled up until the 40 hours, he is not able to submit the timesheet. But I understand it's not possible.
Yes, thanks a lot for elaborating and providing us with a bit more context on that. And we'll look into it. We'll look into it if that's a good use case to use and enhance these features. Thanks for that feedback.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so let's do this final question. Since we got 5 minutes left, I just want to do a quick wrap up. SLL345.
Hi, Lucas. It's Chanel. I don't know
Chanel.
why it's displayed like that. It's displayed. It has displayed like that since college, so
Okay.
it's just my Google account. But I just had a question about timesheets. So we have 100 consultants booking time, and then there are some who I'd like to be able to lock down timesheets. So if someone starts February 6th, but their previous week's timesheet they weren't here, I want to be able to lock that down. And right now, I think someone has to at least put a minute of time against a timesheet in order for it to be submitted and then locked for them to put any more time in. Is there any adjustment to that, or maybe anything in the future? And that's really a management control, less of a day-to-day user.
Right.
Do you want me to get that, Lucas?
Yeah, sure. I was waiting you.
Yeah, that's a great question. Right now, you're absolutely correct. So you have to log like a minute or 30 seconds of time so you can submit the timesheet for it to be locked. One of the things that we are looking at from a control perspective is that you can actually lock a certain period for people to log their time on. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a timesheet that is submitted, but you can say it's what is it, February right now? So we are going to log the period of December last year. So we know at the end of January or the end of February, we're going to lock the previous month. So we know nothing's going to change in that period for controlling and also reporting purposes.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would solve
Absolutely
your
amazing.
problem.
Yes, it would.
All right, cool. I will write that down, and you are one of the people that is looking forward to such a feature.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Very cool. Okay, thank you so much for all these questions, and we really appreciate the feedback. Sorry, I mentioned that was a final question. If you have more, you can always reach out. So we got a website with information and a support channel. Feel free to use that anytime, and we'll do our best to get back to you soon on the questions. Also, I'll keep my word, so I'm gonna reach out to everyone that sent in questions beforehand, to each one of you, to check if your question has been answered and provide you with a good answer for it. And we still have weekly group demos, so if you need more in-depth guidance, feel free to join in. Always happy to see you. And yeah, I think we're right on time. So this has been great. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. And shout out to the Avisi Apps team. Really proud of what we're doing here. So let's continue with this and making a good time. So I'm finishing on that note. So thank you all.